Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Riska Nurazizah and I'm from TBI C. In this video, I would like to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of online learning. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected various aspects of life, especially the world of education in Indonesia. Teaching and learning activities in schools, which are places of interaction between students and teachers, must stop suddenly. The government has made a new policy to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus, namely implementing the public's invitation to carry out a physical distancing program called the New Normal Era. During the new normal era, most Indonesians have tried to live a new life in the world of education, including the proper learning system. This is done directly and meaningfully. Now, it can only be done independently. That way, students do indirect learning by utilizing online or online learning, which is considered quite appropriate in situation like today. So I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages from online learning. The first is the advantage of online learning. That is, train students' independence. Students are required to be able to learn without direct supervision from the teacher. Students can learn to do their own research through the internet and other sources independently. So because of this online learning, and usually many teachers give a limit explanation. So that's why when students do their homework, they have to get more information so they can search on internet. Next, students are trained to master information technology that continues to develop. Through online learning, students will be more familiar with and master the applications used in learning. So of course, students force themselves to know how to use application online application. Next, time is more flexible. Students can immediately follow the learning process from home at a time that can be agreed with the teacher. Okay, and the advantages is time is more flexible. Not only time, but also place. Time and place are more flexible. So they can do their homework anywhere, whenever they want, whenever and wherever they want. Students can take lessons from anywhere. The most important thing is to stay connected to the internet. Next, easily accessible. Learning feels easier because it is enough through a device, a laptop, or computer connected to the internet. So of course, when we do our online learning, so it will be easy for us when we connect it to internet. Next, more affordable costs. For students who are far from school, they need to pay for transportation, pocket money, and even rent a house. However, with online learning, students only need to buy a quota and use the devices they already have. Okay, so sometimes when students they have far house from their school, they take rent house. Not only that, sometimes they pay for transportation too. Next, increase student insight. Student insight is increasing with the number of learning resources available on the internet. So those are the advantages from online learning. Next, so I would like to talk about the disadvantages. For students and teachers who live in areas with minimal internet infrastructure, of course, they will experience difficulties in conducting online learning. Sometimes sometimes when they get bad connection, so they cannot do their homework, they cannot get more information from internet too. That is the disadvantage. Next other disadvantage is students with low-income families experience difficulties in owning a gadget, laptop, or computer and purchasing quotas. This causes online learning to be impossible. Okay, next. Understanding of the material is retouched. Students cannot directly ask the teacher for the material that has not been mastered. On the other hand, teachers cannot directly check students' understanding. This is the disadvantage. I think that this thing, many students experience this thing because sometimes because only a limited explanation from the teacher, so sometimes they don't really understand about the material. Next, reduced interaction between students and teachers. Online learning results in reduced direct interaction between teachers and students and vice versa. Teacher supervision in the learning process of students is reduced. Online learning is limited by distance, so teachers cannot directly supervise student learning. Next, teachers have difficulty in conducting process assessments. Seriousness, discipline, cooperation, honesty, and other aspects are difficult process. Also, this is because the teacher cannot pay attention directly to the learning process carried out by students. Next, the focus of students during the online learning process is disturbed by other activities. For example, studying while chatting with other students, studying while watching movies, studying accompanied by noise from the situation around the house, and so on. So sometimes in online learning, many students, not only many students, as my experience, I'm going to talk my experience. So when I do an online learning and there are, and I got many noises from around my house, so I could focus on my learning. Okay, next. And this is data presentation that I got this data presentation from SDN Pasanggerahan 1 Kota Batu in Malang. So from the percentage diagram, it can be seen that the advantage of online learning get a percentage of 80.60%. And then while the lack of online learning, it means that disadvantage with a percentage of 71.22%. The data processing results above are based on predetermined aspects. The following is an assessment of each aspect. Facilities and the number one is facilities and infrastructure aspect. Facilities and infrastructure current percentage value of the advantages of the online learning process as much as 80.24%, and the shortcomings in the online learning process as much as 74%. Number two, human resource aspect. Aspect of human resource got a percentage value of the advantages of the online learning process as much as 82.24%, and the deficiency in the online learning process as much as 80.2%. Next, number 3 is aspect of the characteristic of teachers and students. Aspect of the characteristic of teachers and students got a percentage value of the advantages of the online learning process online as much as 75.72%, and the deficiency in the online learning process as much as 72.62%. Next, number 4, network aspects and quotas aspects of the network and quotas get a percentage value of the advantages of the online learning process as much as 84.28%, and the shortcomings in the online learning process online as much as 76.23%. Next, number 5, aspects of government policy. Aspects of government policy get a percentage value of the advantages of the online learning process as much as 77.45%, and the shortcoming in the online learning process as much as 75.22%. Okay, next. Okay, this is the last conclusion. So from this point, so we can get conclusion that everything has advantages and disadvantages. It depends on us, everybody. If we only think the disadvantages, so we will see that online learning is useless to us. But if we always have a positive thinking, so we can get some useful things, of course. We have to know the advantages too, not only the disadvantages of online learning. So we can maximize ourselves to do the online learning. And then from the SD Pasanggrahan 1 Malang, we can know that many teachers show that online learning have many advantages than disadvantages. In online learning, teachers should be creative and innovative to gain the quality of online learning. Not only that, but we can also make the class is running well and students can feel fun and unbored. I think enough for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.